Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Victoria 3. How good of you to join and still stick around. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we continue onwards with Japan. Well, holy cow, we are tiny, right? But we have a huge potential for economic powerhouses and building nice cars and computer systems and whatnot in more than 100 years. But for now, we lay the foundation for all of that. And right now we are finishing the next very important construction. A tiny mistake on my part. I was focusing on Hokkaido with the coal mines a bit too early. They're still in ruins, more or less. Well, there are some 1,000 laborers in already. That's good. So with the gold rush, we have a lot of people moving in. And the gold rush right now is also helping us quite nicely here with my budget here, right? So we are already getting 1,300k out of that here. That is helping me. And this is only a 7% potential there right now. So we are getting nice on this, with Hokkaido moving more people to this state. However, Kyushu down in the south is much better for early coal mining. We have a huge population, we have a bonus for coal mines, and we have lots of coal mining available. And for that, right now, there it is. The first coal mine has been finished, and holy cow, is that going to be important to use my combustion engine for my mines. Very, very important, my atmospheric engine here, right? The atmospheric engine pump that we can use. Funnily enough, I can also use it for the coal mines themselves to boost the output for this. And we will do this, of course. So right now, as we can see, vacancies are going down rather quickly. Lots of people move in. I wonder why there's shopkeepers that we need for coal mines. From the merchant guild they come, and they used to work in the fishing wharves that we are no longer using them so much. But why do we need shopkeepers in the coal mine? Laborers, that's super important. Every single laborer we get boosts the interest groups of the bourgeoisie, of the trade unions especially as well, and of the industrialists, and it reduces the power cloud of the shogunate. So that's great stuff. However, shopkeepers, they're also for industrialists, right? So they're very strong supporting there. No idea why we would need them there, but I'm fine with it, of course. Yeah, we're building a couple of them right now. So right now we have a pretty huge demand for coal as well, and I need to use this demand, or I need to use my capacity for coal to get the engine pumping for my iron mines. That's super important here. So let's finish those coal mines. With the atmospheric engine, we've also got a new journal entry here. The atmospheric engine, an ingenious device, has been invented. It will sure to drastically improve the output of our mines. So with that, we also can trigger a new event, the atmospheric engine itself. And we should not reach the water tube boiler before we finish this, otherwise this will fail. It will also time out in 9 years. So what we need here to do is have at least one of these. So we have this now, perfect. And the second one is more than 75 buildings of eligible buildings have the atmospheric engine active. This is the case when we have all the iron mines and all the coal mines pumping with that. And then we should actually be able to do it just fine. Alright, coal mines coming in. And with that, we can see already also my balance going up again. So I think we will not even need to change my construction sector this time around anymore, as we're looking rather good on the income side. While the coal mines are coming out, we have stopped colonization now, because in Sakhalin, everything here belongs to us now. That's great stuff. And Russia wasn't even once, angry towards us. They're still protective of us, actually. That's great stuff. And we can now move towards the south a bit more, because in the south, there's a few countries or a few islands ripe for the taking, which we should be doing before any of the major superpowers get there. So for that, first of all, we need to declare interest in the region. Indonesia, it would be, right? I would also like to go with Oceania. Oh, sorry, we can only declare one interest for now. Oh yeah, alright, we're rank 11. Only one interest for now, that's fine. And with that, we should be able then to colonize soon, at least here, Papua. That is something I would like to take. For now, it has not been colonized yet, so it is ripe for the taking, but we need to wait now a bit for our interest to kick in. And then we should be able to start colonization here. This one is actually totally available. With a bit of authority that I have again, I would like to start bolstering the intelligentsia now as well. So we are now bolstering intelligentsia and industrialists, the two most important groups in the future to also work towards reforming the country once they're strong enough. Also a new domestic affair journal entry is coming in. The path to liberalism, a more democratic society with the right ideals, will lay the groundwork for a country where the liberty of all citizens is paramount. And we do need to, check a few things here. A few of them we already have. So the government legitimacy, the shogunate is at peace, and all interest groups are in the shogunate are insurrectionary. And also we need to have at least one of these here. So census suffrage or the universal suffrage. And we also need to have at least one of these ideologies in the government as well. Shouldn't be so hard to achieve. Except the suffrage. This is actually something where we're going to take a long time for getting this. That's all the way down here, census suffrage or the universal one. Endorsement is not so bad. Of course, the shogunate will oppose that dramatically, so we need to kick them out first before we can actually go to this. So there will be a civil war with the shogunate most likely at some point soon, where we need to kick them out of power for good. If we want to go. They're too strong at the moment though. They're at 44% right now. We still need to weaken them further, right? So very important that we kick them down on the population. So the farmers and the aristocrats especially. So this here needs to get weaker overall before we can do anything else here with those guys. Also, for the first time, we are positive on the balance now, even when using the iron frame building. So this is great stuff, as we probably can keep that construction capacity up for a while now. Of course, we still need to check out our resources constantly. The price for iron, for example, is now pretty low again. That's great stuff. So the iron mine building was successful. Let's also check it out there quickly for those here. So we are getting the coal now in, which is also not that pricey. And then the tools, which is also not that pricey. And another iron mine has been built. I think we could now start on building something else for the first time other than, tools and iron and coal and stuff like that. So coal, we also have a nice surplus there now right now. These mines were very, very productive quite early on, right? So it was the right move to Kyushu. So another thing I would like to look at after we finish those iron mines is taxation capacity. Right now, we're losing a lot of taxes because we don't realize them. And we can see this here, 88,000 or 88k would be potential if we realize all our taxes. This is a huge bunch at this point, right? That we definitely need to tackle somehow. So I need to look up the states where actually I can get the most out of it, and one of them of course is Kansai, our capital state, because this is one of my most populous and one of most richest counties that we have, or provinces that we have. And we were using 800 out of the capacity of 245 that we can use here. So there's 70% tax collection potential wasted right now that we need to use. And how can we do this? Well, we need to build governmental administration buildings. We can do this. This gives me bureaucracy and increases the taxation capacity. Let's start with 3 of them. However, they will start consuming then paper. And paper is something that we need to be careful about, because the price of that can get raised rather quickly. Right now it's still cheap though to use paper, so we can go ahead and do this and increase our taxation capacity. And just finishing, one of the government administrations actually already gave me some 5,000 on the balance in addition, because we now have more taxation than coming out of Kansai. For now, price of paper though needs to be monitored, so we're now starting to consume it, and with that the price is already increasing a bit. Tech-wise, we're about to finish the empiricism over here. That gives me more influence and more wealth education access, and also another education institution investment. It also leads to a bunch of new laws that we can then use, like the school system. And on the other hand, we are going for the stock exchange as the queue here. First of all, it's a rather quick tech now with 3 years only, and this gives me a better market access price impact and also more trade route bureaucracy cost. It also leads to the free trade and protectionism law. These are things that we're going to need pretty soon. And there it is. Also, we have finished another journal entry, the atmospheric engine now, with using the pumps as well. And through the widespread introduction of the atmospheric engine in the mining industry, productivity is at an all-time high. And I'm sure we can squeeze a little more out of these machines. We get even more, a 33% throughput for all of my mines. This is just really nice. Or we get a huge progress boost towards the water tube boiler. Nah, let's go ahead with the temporary boost, because that's just more lovely to me and to my market in general. And there it is. Also, empiricism has been finally unlocked. With that, we get a few bonuses and then also new laws that we can enact. Also, even though we use now all our construction capacity here, I'm not having any high prices anymore on coal, tools and iron. So that's perfect. And that means, of course, we can increase our construction capacity even further. So in Kyoto, right over here, I would like to increase that sector by another 2 levels, which then increases the consumption of said goods again. Fabric might be something that actually goes up then a bit too steeply. Paper is still fine, so I'm also fine with using even more administration capacity for the taxation. So let's go ahead and use another 2 levels here in Kansai. And what would be another good one? I think with Edo, yes, we have a whole bunch of stuff that we're not using here. So let's also increase the government administration by 2 levels in Edo. Very important right now that we should focus is a dedicated police force, because right now we lose the local police force, and this is giving the shogunate 10% additional political strength, which is quite a bit. We do have it in the institutions here. There it is, right? And that's level 1 right now. That's great. So we're definitely not going to increase that. However, we need to really get cracking on this law. Problem with the law is, though, that, yeah, we have a higher chance than ever before, so it's at 32% now. Of course, the shogunate is opposing this directly, but the stronger my intelligentsia especially gets, the better here. So I still need to wait a bit more, I think, but then we should be able to start the enactment process. Samurai petition government, representing his constituents in the samurai, Tarakuni has issued a formal petition to the Japanese government to pass the National Guard law. We will see what we can do. They expect this in the next 5 years. Alright, that was just an expectation now. We could do this, the National Guard. It's a tricky business though. Just have a look at that real quick. There it is, National Guard. Very low chance of actually getting enacted. Right now we have no home affairs. With this one we would have then the chance of getting this. Also gives me a bureaucracy cost, but it enables the home affairs institution. Intelligentsia actually oppose this. Yeah, it could actually work if we endorse this. Now, we built 2 more construction sectors now. With that, we raised the capacity to 81. Very good. However, we're lowering our income again with that, because of course we consume more goods. Let's just also check this out again. But I think, yeah, look at that. Iron is fine. Tools is now really fine. So there's nothing to worry about that. Wood. So no idea why we actually lose that much money with it. Should not be the case. We should get the money in again though with our government administrations now. Passively mechanical tools has been researched. This is actually pretty good for us, because with that we can boost the output of paper mills and tooling workshops by using steel tools then once we have steel available as well. And also pretty important, the knowledge of railways has started to spread to us. So with that, this new tech is now inspired and will then just passively also continue with its with its endorsement. So urbanize a Japanese shogunate so that we have something new. The future is not white or black like the old tales say. It's grey. The color of the train that lets us visit foreign lands. The color of the factory that lets us pay for such a travel. The color, my friend, of progress. And with that, we get the new one that will then lead to urbanization of Japan. And with that, we still, of course, are far away. Right now, we have 11% progress of the Japanese states that have an urban center greater than 5, and any building is greater than 10 in the urban center then as well. So this is also a long-term goal here that we have. And the government petition for the samurai, we probably will just go for this and try to get this law in. And another political movement has started now, enacting the homesteading. This is really good for us because this is a very extreme movement. So this is actually generating a lot of radicals as well right now. Support is extreme for this one. Radicalization is high as well. The same goes with the poor laws. So these are two movements by the new political powers that we have. That's the industrialists that grow in strength, and that's the intelligentsia that almost at 16% cloud bonus now, or strength now. With the homesteading, this is actually a law that I would like to go. This is abolishing serfdom, and serfdom is giving the shogunate 50% political strength. If we go with this one here, this movement of homesteading, it gives the petite bourgeoisie quite a bit of a power there as well. And on top of that, it will probably start a civil war. So if we want to go with that, and we have to go with that at some point now, we need to work out our military strength there as well. And for that, I need to do a couple of things. I need to build barracks in my capital state, because once we go to civil war, most of the barracks in the country will actually probably side with the shogunate. Every barrack we build in Kyoto, in the Japanese shogunate capital state, will actually be under our control. So the more barracks we have here, the higher the chance that we win this one. So we need to actually get started with that. This will of course have a strain on my national balance there once more, but I think we should be fine. There's 3 more constructions we finish right now, and then let's actually go ahead with the the barrack building. The first thing we need to do is actually have a look at our army right now. So we got the first Japanese army with 30 battalions stationed right now. So in that case here, let's have a look at their leaders, because I think some of them are actually of the shogunate. This is petite bourgeoisie. This is shogunate, so General Hidetatsu. And also here, General Yoso is also of the shogunate. So I would like to actually get rid of them. And with that, yeah, reduce their power in the army. And by retiring this one here, we lose also then interest group approval of the shogunate, but that's fine. We're going to assign new generals here that are of other powers, right? So Haimin here. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone else here. Shogunate again. Let's recruit the Haimin and get rid of Yoso here as well, right? So there's no one of the shogunate anymore in power at the of the army itself. If I want to recruit a new general, we only get shogunate powered generals now. So those two are very important to me. He's petite bourgeoisie. He's actually really important to me. So I'm going to promote him there right away to get him up there a bit. He's though disliked a bit, but okay, I have to live with that. But I want to increase their power there of my army further without too much of a hassle there, and we do have enough bureaucratic power so we can go ahead and do this. Next, I'm going to build some more barracks now in our capital, which would be Kansai. There it is. And here we can now go ahead and, yeah, let's get us a level 5 barracks up there immediately. Sorry, first we need to reduce all the barracks in the provinces. So we do this with the new system. It's a bit more complicated, I think, than before. We're not directing barracks anymore directly, but rather we need to reduce it to 0, because this is one-to-one with a barrack, right? So first of all, I need to reduce the battalions to 0, because now we don't have any barracks anymore anywhere. And now I can go ahead and select recruit a new infantry. And now I can actually go from the 0 rating for Kansai. So in Kansai, we have now the whole military stations then with, yeah, let's say 20 of them right away. So we don't need to build actually the barracks anymore directly, but we rather just recruit the soldiers, right? Artillery is also something we can go with, and cavalry. So once again, I'm also saying Kansai here. Let's get me a level 10 cavalry up as well. This is going to take a while. And once finished, we have the whole military power of Japan concentrated in the capital. Also with that, the shogunate family ties has been deactivated, because they don't have powerful positions anymore everywhere. So the army, for example, they have nothing anymore. And with that, the Japanese clout, or the shogunate clout, is actually getting reduced by a whopping 10% to 34.5% only now. That is massive. This further improves now the chance of new laws that we can assign here. So since the shogunate is actually directly opposing that, we increase our chance here to 30% now for the homesteading. And way more important to me would also be now the dedicated police force, where we for the first time have a positive endorsement. If I go ahead with this, it will probably, will it radicalize anyone? No, it will still not radicalize the shogunate. It will, however, further reduce the political strength by another 10%. So let's go ahead and start the enactment process, I think, of the dedicated police force. Yeah. This is going to be risky, because honestly, we have a very low chance here. Or should I go with something else? Yeah, unfortunately, here we cannot really go for anything. Tricky. Sorry, let's actually... No, let's go ahead with it for now. Homesteading is still too early, I think. It's a tricky decision right now, honestly. Also, line infantry has been unlocked passively. That's great, because this is a very important new military unit type that we have that gives me a nice increase in military power. Alright, the first phase was successful for dedicated police force. The enactment chance has been increased by 10%. We're now at 15%. Endorsement rating is still higher than the opposing rating, so it's risky, but it might just work out. If it does, we get a huge boost towards dethroning the shogunate further. And that's something I would like to aim for here soon. Yep, nothing else that we can do here for now in the journal. Low market access in Hokkaido, that's of course to be expected. Tohoku though, that's not so great, so I might actually enact here the road maintenance. Honestly, we could do this. I just need a bit more authority. Road maintenance, there it is. With that, we do get some infrastructure back again, and Off it goes. Market access is at 100% again for Tohoku. Oh, and this is also just perfect. Mass communication has been unlocked. The easy spread of information utilizing technologies such as the newspaper. And with that, we get 10% flat authority as well. And this is actually almost a new edict that we can enact. Actually, it is a new one. The 100 authority flat. We could go for something now again that boosts me. So for example, in my capital, we could go for higher road maintenance there once again. I would also like to encourage some output, probably. Alright, dedicated police fund has successfully progressed to the consideration phase. That was faster than I expected. I thought it would stay in the introduction phase a little bit longer. So 50% debate now, a 30% stall that we have a stalling here, and the 15% chance of success. Not high enough yet, but of course, next step has been achieved. Perfect. And this is also just perfect. Stock exchange has been finished now, an organized market where stocks and bonds can be bought and sold. The stock exchange is a central element of the modern market economy, and with that we get a 10% market access price impact, which is great because this is increasing my market prices, especially also my export prices. It leads to a whole bunch of new laws that we're going to enact soon. And with that, we don't have any active research right now, and it's going to be interesting. Look at that, railway is already being researched, so I don't need to worry about that. In the military, we have finished the line infantry, which to my opinion is the most important one that we can get, so I don't need to even actively research that. So I think we might actually go into a society tree and have a look at something. And yeah, the currency standard is actually a really fast one. It's already been inspired, and it only takes me up to 2 years max to finish this one here, and this gives me then the banking technology that we have here that increases my minting and loan interest rates. Since we're a minor power at the moment, we struggle with interest rates on that, and we definitely want to get this down as well, and this is where the banking is coming in handily then. Central archives looks pretty damn interesting too, because it just increases my taxation capacity by a flat 25, which is huge, and this could then increase my balance quite a bit as well. Alright, new problem appears. That is now the poor laws. The radicalization is even higher now than before, so we've got just 2 more million radicals. The problem with that is that the industrialists and trade unions really want this to go, and they are going with military power here against us. We'll just see where it goes. I have no idea at the moment how high their power is. Break banks. To outside observers, the samurai may appear firmly committed to the idea of dedicated police force, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members. Alright, this is also dangerous. Oh. Alright, the best out of this is probably the offer them custodianship over a new draft. We can do this because we don't have a setback yet. This gives me a setback though, but it is increasing the enactment chance here by another 5%, which is good. The samurai though lose pop attraction, which is also good for us long-term wise. So I think this one here goes ahead. With that, we are going up here to 20% of this. Unfortunately, I cannot now go for the poor laws at the moment because we already have another enactment already coming in. By the way, the poor laws is just... yeah, the endorsement here is only at 5%, so even if I would like to, we can't go with the poor laws. It absolutely is not possible because the majority would oppose. So I don't know what this revolution here is about, because the cloud here is really not even 5%. Yet there is 18 million that support this movement. Tricky! Going to be interesting what is happening in Hiroshima there. No idea at the moment. And we continue onwards in the next episode. Stay tuned.